If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch, indeed. The child shall lead them.
Yep.
Okay, dear listener.
We're in the middle of a DJ stream here, and the next song that we have up on the list is, what do you say, Sidus, Atrum? Ghost Song, Lullaby of the Lost.
I think
and
so.
The comment that we were told to read is, it's a solo female project. Ooh. By Yelika Lykhortvor. Sorry. From Ukraine. This song features guest vocalist Margarita Arabadzahaeva with credits for lyrics, clean vocals, and Eula gets music, screams, and growls. Vin and Sori. As for Sidus Atrium, Ghost Song Lullaby of the Lost, I would suggest watching the official lyric video on the side, as it adds visual context and improves, in my opinion.
Okay, I think we're gonna... How many views does it have on it? Let me debate.
I mean, it's only 651 subscribers.
All right, let's
So I think
see. You
we
want to
should
try
be
for
good.
the official?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to watch the official lyric video, dear listener.
In the stream.
In the stream itself. I do not think we will get blocked, but if we do get blocked, you'll see a little say, it was suspended for yada, 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 yada. Hang on for about 30 seconds. We'll be there. Okay.
And we shall return.
We shall return, inshallah. Okay, so it's Sidus Atrium featuring Margarita. What now? Featuring Margarita, because I'm going to butcher the name and I don't want to. And here we go, guys. Official lyric video. Let's do it.
Candles will burn, seasons will turn. Don't be afraid, please come to play.
Oh, I like that.
You should
was creepy.
Well, it's called Ghost Song.
Yeah, like, and then it says lullaby, and it definitely sounded like a lullaby in there. But holy shit! So my parents used to own apartment buildings. There was this woman that called them, and she was like, "I'm having a little bit of a problem," and my parents were like, "Okay." She was not a religious person in any way, and she said, "Well," she said, "there was this being that was like hanging out in the apartment and talking to my son," and her son was like 7. And she said, I felt bad for it because it seemed like it was like a lost spirit, and it seemed like it was around my son's age. And she would hear it talking from the other room. And then she'd go in there, and it was just her kid in there playing with toys. And so she said that because
she would hear her son talking,
she would hear both voices.
She'd hear both voices.
Both voices. And so she was like, like she felt like it was like a lost, like, you know how they'll say like there's a spirit and it has unfinished business or something and it can't like cross over. She felt like it was like another child that was her son's age. And so she felt bad for it. And she had done some research, and she found out that, like, I don't know, back in the 1800s or something like that right in front of the building, there was a little boy that had gotten run over by a horse and buggy. And it was about her son's age. And so she was like, oh, it must be that spirit. And he, it's been a long time, blah, blah, blah. So she didn't have a problem with him hanging out with her son. And then,
she called your mother and told your mother this?
Yeah. But the reason she called my mother was because after a while, like, the spirit started being like expressing like rage and anger, and like toys were flying across the room. And it was scaring her son. So then she changed her mind, and she didn't want this thing around her son. But it was almost like this thing felt like it owned the apartment. I don't know, it was very weird. So she called my parents because she was like, she didn't know what to do at that point. And she wanted them to come and, pray over the building or something. And
wow.
They did, and I think it was good after that. But she was really like, I remember her coming over and talking to my mom about it. And she was like pretty upset about it because she was saying like she really felt like a bad person for wanting to get this thing out of there, but she was getting really friggin' scared. So it kind of reminded me of that, like this song, because there's like this little girl trapped in a room, and there's this former spirit, and they have like this same, I don't know, sort of connection. Maybe they both suffer the same trauma in the same location. I don't know. And that spirit is trying to call her to come to the other world. But
yeah.
Did you get something different from it?
No, I got something similar. What year was that? Go back to the video. I think we made it without getting blocked, so that's
2020.
2020. She's Ukrainian, but it doesn't seem like
she's got a beautiful voice.
It has anything to do with the situation that they're in right now, which is really interesting. Candles will burn, seasons will turn. Don't be afraid. Please come to play. I know a game for us to play. You should be brave. Look,
that was scary.
When people are dealing with severe types of pressure or abuse or fill in the blank, sometimes you disassociate.
Oh yeah.
That's where you get multiple personality disorders, where you disassociate from from yourself. And so there's a lot of ways to look at this. One is you can go like really spiritual and say there's some demonic presence here. But if you look at the person, the spell of a music box, I feel you, I know you feel me too. Locked in a room, little girl swooned to the sound of my lullaby. She cries just like me.
Oh.
So it seems to me that this is a girl who's undergoing some sort of abuse or harsh treatment, locked in a room type of situation. And so now she's disassociating, which a lot of people do to engage, to deal with a horrible reality. And then, especially being that lonely, you're basically in solitary confinement as a little child. And so she's disassociating. And so, like, this disassociation becomes another person to her.
Yeah. Yep.
And, there's a lot of really fascinating... there are some people, like Bernardo Castro, for example, that believe that God himself is suffering from disassociation, and we are all alters in God's, mind, and he's trying to reconcile himself to himself, basically. But I could just imagine, basically, it looks to me like she's suicidal, but her other person, her other self, is basically telling her, kill yourself and join me, because I'm the part of you that's free, basically. So at the end, she's saying,
Oh my gosh.
join me in nocturnal skies, follow the wind where the stars burn bright, because we share the same pain.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty sad type of song, but like I said, you can look at it as this other spirit, but it looks to me like, she sang to me her lullaby, which is significant because a mother is supposed to sing you a lullaby. So why doesn't this girl have a mother to sing her a lullaby? Why does she need a ghost?
Right.
And I don't think your interpretation is crazy, because the thing is the lullaby of the ghost or whatever. Mm-hmm. But she's not saying it's her mother's ghost. It's not clearly her mother.
Yeah.
It is her. Again, it looks
so
like an
wild. Yeah, you could be
right. It looks like
right.
an altar. It looks like somebody that's her age, been through the same experiences, but is on the other side. And she talks about her being pale and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Right. Pale as the winter night. So it just looks like the dead version of themselves.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. That is
because. I think we could be cool to Chris. Chris, we're in the middle of breaking down a song, right? So after the song, we'll deal with whatever. But yeah. Anyway.
wow.
It's a fascinating.
So sad to think of a kid in that situation.
It's tough when kids don't have. It's very, very fascinating. I wasn't going to tell it, but hopefully people still have some place in their hearts for at least Russian babies. But I was listening to this thing on Focus on the Family about. It was a big thing, especially in the mid-90s. It's still a big thing to adopt babies overseas. Mm-hmm. And and obviously, former Soviet Union, et cetera, et cetera. And so you would have these testimonies of these adoptive parents, and they would talk about how difficult it was adopting babies from the former Soviet Union, Russia, where the orphanages were so overloaded. It wasn't that the caretakers were bad people per se, but the orphanages were so overloaded because I don't think people realize how devastating World War II was to Russia. Mm-hmm. And so the place was just glutted. I mean, you had horror stories, 4 or 5 babies in the same crib. I don't know, like, how real you can never tell, because obviously they're trying to get money for. Hey, give to this ministry that continues to adopt these babies.
Yeah.
But the worst story I ever heard was these babies stopped crying. So you have all these.
Yeah.
It was a very palpable story, and I don't know. Like, maybe I was being completely, whatever, G'd out for money. But I was a kid, 16 years old, listening to this shit. And this woman described going into this nursery at night in Russia or whatever, or maybe Latvia, whatever. And it was dead silent. And she's like, holy shit, how did she get these kids to fall asleep? And then she walked to the crib. It was actually, now I look at it, it's pretty terrifying.
Absolutely.
None of the kids were asleep.
They just knew nobody was coming.
They were very quiet. And then she's like, what gives? What's going on? It's basically the babies had given up crying, because they basically learned nobody's coming for you. Mm-hmm. And that was just so.
Yeah.
It was a definitely gut punch, like definitely like type of shit, bring you to your knees type of situation. But, I don't really, now a lot of us are are interested in that side of the world, but I don't know like what that's like. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like as far as That's something that's kind of unthinkable on our side of the world, where you would have an entire. And again, maybe it's just religious bullshit to get people to whatever, but to give whatever, but it's
I mean, when I was in Bible college, they were gonna send us to, wasn't Uzbekistan? Maybe, I don't remember.
Latvia?
No, it was another place. I can't.
They're gonna send you to Uzbekistan.
I think it was.
Holy shit!
And it was. I mean, we were gonna have to sign some massive waivers to even to get over there, and
Yeah.
they were saying it was really unsafe. But this woman had come from there, and she said that, she ended up opening an orphanage, but she said that she was going to the orphanage that was there, and she realized that the kids were not, they were not in good shape. They were overrun. There was not enough workers, and the workers that were there had been done doing that type of work for a long time, and so they were not given good care. And she said that she brought in some cookies, and she was passing them out, but when she left, she felt like God told her, you didn't pass them out to the right kids. And so she was like, okay. And so she brought cookies back the next day, and she asked them, can I see the other kids? And so they were like, the other ones? And she said, right, the other ones, not the ones that were here. But she had no idea what she was talking about. She was just going off of what she felt like God had told her. And they were like, the other ones. And she said, yeah, the other kids. I'm supposed to bring these cookies to the other kids. And they said, okay. And they were extremely hesitant, but she kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And it took a long time for her to get to those other kids that she didn't know what was the situation. Well, they brought her, and she said that they left one building. They went to another building. She said it was extremely cold. And she said they were walking up these cement steps. And she said then they opened up this door, and it was a very cold room, and it was all the handicapped children, and they were just piled in there. And she was completely heartbroken that the kids were in this situation. She said their skin was purple because it was so cold. And so she said, I have to do something. I have to get this orphanage. I have to get in control of this orphanage. And so she fought and fought and fought to get control of that orphanage. And she said she was going to give up because it was not working. She said everything that I was doing, and I was exhausted, and I couldn't get anywhere. And then she said that she went home that night. I mean, this is like for a long time she'd been fighting to try to get this place. She went home, and then she told God, I'm not doing this anymore. I can't do this. I can't get them. I can't get to these kids. I can't save them. I can't help them. And I'm exhausted. And then she felt like God told her, are you ready to do it in my strength instead of your own? And then she said, okay. And the next day they said, all right. And then she ended up getting ownership of it. And when she came to our school, she had a staff of probably 50 people there. And she said that, the handicapped children were getting the care that they needed, but they were overrun, and they needed a lot more help. And so they were coming to our school to see if we could, send some students over there to help. And they had picked me as one of the students that was going to be going. But I don't know what ended up happening, but it didn't end up happening.
Well,
it was not safe.
Uzbekistan obviously is Islamic. A lot of Islamic influence, and that was post 9/11 for you guys. So it wouldn't have been good.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been good. But damn. That's yeah, so it looks like the song is kind of that kind of situation. Like this girl's in a room by herself.
Oh, that's just terrible.
She disassociates, and then, but it looks like she made it out, and she didn't follow that girl up into the
oh, really? Why?
Well, because she made a song.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? What'd you give it?
Ooh, boy, this is a good one. This is a 9.8. I'm not likely going to listen to it again. It was a little bit painful.
The song was deep as hell, man.
Yeah.
It's a 9.3. 9.3 for me. Really, I mean, some of these songs are
not at all what I thought the stream was going to be tonight.
No. Tina and you really can't tell with these DJ streams. You don't know what these people are gonna do. You think you have people figured out. You think you have like, hey, Middle Earth, okay, Tina, okay, it's gonna be a mixture of Black Middle and this, like, it's completely off left field. I have no idea. I have no idea where they're going. But that's why we do it, dear listener. Poor Chris, if he was around, we'd be able to. All right, we shall return. We shall return. Then out.
Hurry out.
Go.